Welcome to the first video in this course. You don't need to know anything about coding or game development because we will start from the ground up. You don't even need to buy PICO-8 yet, thanks to the free Education Edition. If you want to follow along, click the link in the description to open PICO-8 right in your browser. If I do anything in our videos that works differently in Education Edition, I will mention that. Otherwise, everything is the exact same. When you first open PICO-8, this is what you'll see. And if you're using the Education Edition, this is what you see. It shows the version number up here. That might be important if you are having trouble, like you can't play a certain game or don't have a certain new feature. But for many years now, PICO-8 has remained very stable through all the updates it has been given. Even when version 1.0 is fully finished, I'm sure this tutorial series will still work perfectly fine. So if your version is different from mine here, that shouldn't be a problem. We see the copyright, since 2014, over 10 years old now and still absolutely amazing. In the Education Edition, you'll see it says that here, and that you are using temporary disk, which just means that you'll have a temporary folder for game files saved in your browser instead of a real folder saved on your computer. We cannot see any mouse cursor here if I move around the mouse, but we can type where we see the flashing red rectangle. This is called a command line, but you might hear people also call it the terminal, or shell, or command prompt. It was how computers were given commands before we had desktops, folders, and windows to help us navigate our files. Type in what you want and press enter to send the command. But what commands can we give it? Well, it says, type help for help. So let's type help and press enter. Nice. This gives us a list of some commands we can use. The first one says, install demos. And notice that underscore symbol there, not a space. Let's try it. Install underscore and then demos. Press enter and it says, installing demo carts to demos. And then it lists all the demo carts you just downloaded. These are simple PICO-8 games that we can run right away. We call them carts, short for cartridges, because we like to think of our PICO-8 games as bulky physical cartridges from early consoles like the Atari, Nintendo Famicom, or Game Boy. So let's try the first demo file, hello. Just type in hello and press enter, right? Oops, syntax error. That just means it's not a command that PICO-8 can understand. So let's use another command to try to see where our demo carts are saved. The command we'll use is ls, which was a common abbreviation for the word list. Type ls and press enter, and it says directory / in blue. A directory is just a folder, and it's telling us this folder is currently open. The / with nothing after it means it's the home folder, also called the root folder. If you bought and installed PICO-8, this home folder is named carts, and it is saved on your computer, and you have now downloaded all of the demo files into an inner folder named demos. If you are on the Education Edition, this is the temporary folder saved in your browser, not on your computer. And you also have access to this temporary demos folder in the same way. The word demos is in pink, which tells us that it is a directory inside of our home directory. To change directories, which is like clicking on a folder to open it, we use another command. Type in cd, which stands for change directories, then a space, and then the name of the directory you want to open. In this case, demos. Press enter and it shows /demos/ in blue now, meaning it is currently open. Let's see all of the files in this directory by typing ls again and press enter. There we go. It tells us we are in the demos folder and once again displays all of these demo files in gray. Here's how we can imagine these files and folders. You'll get used to imagining the way these files are organized as you navigate around using commands to view the directories and the files within them. Now let's try to load one of these files. Load was another command word shown in help. Let's type load space hello and press enter. If you typed it incorrectly, then it should say loaded hello.p8. We could have typed the full file name load hello.p8, but we didn't have to. It loaded 484 chars. Oh, that word chars there is actually short for characters. One character is a single letter or number or symbol typed into your game file. A really big PICO-8 game can have over 65,000 characters. But this tiny demo has less than 500 characters of code. But where is the code? Anytime you are looking at this command line with a flashing red rectangle, you can press Escape on your keyboard to open the PICO-8 editors and view the currently loaded file. This is your code editor. And we can see all 484 characters of code in this game file. It is called Hello World, and like all of the demo carts, it is by Zep, the creator of PICO-8. Okay, looking at the code is fun, but how do we run games after they are loaded? Well, just like load, there is another command called run. But typing anything into this code editor is actually editing the game file. So let's not break anything. To enter another command, we need to go back to the command line. Press Escape again to go back and forth between the command line and the editors. Now let's use the command run. You know how commands work now, so I don't have to say it anymore, but you know that I press enter in 3, 2, 1. Awesome! Hello world! This is PICO-8, nice to meet you. Alright, press escape again to exit a running game. We still see the game, but it has stopped running and the command line has appeared on top. Now that we see what the code is doing, let's get a taste of editing a PICO-8 cart. Press escape again to go back to the code editor now. Okay, let's scroll down past all of this confusing looking code and math until we see something we can easily understand. I don't see hello world. Oh, but I do see this is PICO-8 and nice to meet you. Let's change the word PICO-8 to be our name. This is Nerdy Teachers. Of course, you can write whatever you want. Just make sure it stays inside of the quotation marks. We don't always have to use the command line to run a game. We can also use a shortcut by pressing Ctrl and R at the same time. Fantastic! We can even see our edits right away. But the words are too far to the right now, so let me go back and fix that. In future videos, we will learn what all of these numbers mean, but I already know this first number is how far from the left side of the screen to start writing this sentence. So if it is too far to the right, then I need to lower this number, and I'll try 20 and see how that looks. Great, that made the line a little bit more centered on the screen now. You can play around with more numbers like this, and if you break something too much, you can always use Ctrl-Z to undo your changes. Another fun way we can edit game files is to change the art in the game. Up here are the PICO-8 editors. We are currently in this first one, the code editor. The second one is where we can draw the pixel art, called sprites. So this is the Sprite Editor. Click on that, and now we see Hello World. What happens if we change these sprites? I'm going to erase the H by just clicking on it and pressing the Delete key on the keyboard. Press Ctrl R to run, and yeah, now it says Hello World. Can I draw a picture instead of a letter? Escape to go back, and I'm going to draw a circle, give it some eyes, and a smile, and run the game again. Hey, that worked. Ooh, I have an idea. While I'm drawing different shapes here, you can play around and try different things yourself. If you try colors that are not white, you'll see that the colorful animation in the game no longer works correctly. So I'm going to stick to white for my shapes so that I can still get that colorful animation effect going in my game. In a future video, we will take a look at this sprite editor in much more detail. But for now, select the colors up here, use your pencil tool, and select the sprite down here that you want to change. And then up here, you just draw whatever you want in the canvas. There we go. I like this. Can you imagine what this will look like when we run the game? Let's try it. Nice! I turned Hello World into this wiggling worm. Escape to exit the game. And we're back at the command line. Now that you know how to use the command line, how to load and run games, and even how to make edits to games, I think you should take some time to play around with these demo carts yourself and practice navigating PICO-8 using the command line. Let's just try to load another demo cart first. LS to see the list of demo files again. And let's try loading Bounce. Uh-oh. It knows we made changes to the Hello cart, and it's asking us if we want to continue or not. The command line has asked us a question and is now watching what we type next. But don't press anything yet. Y is for yes, which will erase our edits, and N is for no, which will cancel loading a new cart and keep our edits loaded. Let's press N so that we can save our edits first. The word save is another command, but be careful. If I press enter right now, it will overwrite the hello demo file. Instead, I'm going to press spacebar, then give it a new name to save it as a new file. So the command is save, space, and I'll name it Hello Nerdy. Notice I use an underscore. A space will work, but it's a good habit to keep your file names as one word and use underscores instead of spaces to bring two words together. Now let's press enter. If you are using the free education edition of PICO-8, then when you press enter, a window will pop up asking where you want to download and save the game file onto your computer. It will also save a temporary file in the browser separate from the file you downloaded. If you do own PICO-8, then your file is saved locally in the currently opened folder. And when you load that file again, you will be editing the same file. You can easily access your carts folder by using the command folder, which will open the folder on your computer, and this is how you can easily share these .p8 files with others. Because PICO-8 games are so small, and these files are simply text files, you can drag and drop them into an email or a chat like Discord, and others can easily open them by doing the same thing. Simply drag and drop the .p8 file onto the PICO-8 screen, and it will load it up. For Education Edition, this actually works the same way. You just have to press the play button first to boot up PICO-8 in your browser, then drag and drop the file you saved right over the screen to load it back in. This is how you can make sure you save your work by downloading it onto your computer and then opening them back up and continue working on them the next day to keep on going. Now that we have saved our version of Hello, let's try to load the bounce demo again. Load, bounce. And there we go. It loaded. Now you are good to go play around with loading, editing, running, and saving these demo cards. I'm sure you'll learn quite a few things by exploring PICO-8 in this way. By playing around with these demos, you are probably going to have some questions. And if you must get your answers right away, go ahead and ask in the comments. But most likely, the answers will be in a later video. Alright, have fun! In the next video, I will show you how to customize PICO-8 and set it up in a way that is even better for learners. This video is the start of a whole course on how to code and how to make games in PICO-8. It is completely free, thanks to these fantastic supporters on Ko-fi. If you have the means and would gladly pay for a course like this, then consider becoming a sponsor so that we can continue to bring free educational content to thousands of students around the world who wouldn't be able to afford the course. If you want to learn more about us and PICO-8, visit our website, nerdyteachers.com.